Merry Smissmas to you medics in training. This is Mr. WD bringing you a special segment of Doctor's Diagnosis, taking a look at the medic changes that's been provided within the Tough Break update. And medic's been a good boy this year. Who knew? So we got ourselves some weapon changes, slight tweaks, but also a big one with the Vaccinator, of course. And also different class changes, having higher health regen when healing a patient and a faster build rate during setup time, which is excellent. And I'm going to be messing around with those said weapons. Mine's the quick fix, just because, well, quick fix only had a slight change, so you can't cap objectives when underneath the build rate. I'm stammering, excuse me. But yeah, I'm messing about with the Amputator Vaccinator, especially during this scenario. Goodness sakes. That definitely saved my ass. I have multiple charges, and I'd live to see another day. Silly soldier can't catch up unless he rocket jumps. And then lastly, Crusader's Crossbow. And overall, these changes overall have to do with how well you're able to build up your Uber charge. So Crusaders and Amputator, whenever you do your healing, you actually build up Uber charge for it. Which I'm guessing that's fine. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but that was definitely an overall very nice change. But Vaccinator, most importantly, got some different changes with having how you build up your Uber charge now. Now, overall, having to heal up a patient under normal circumstances, it has been risen up just a little bit, going up to 67%. And also, whenever you're healing an overhealed patient, the build rate has been a bit more effective now, as it seems. And also, and I think this is a big, interesting thing that they added, which is add slight Ubercharge build on a proper resist. Which means that if you're getting constantly attacked by, say, like someone with a minigun and you have proper resist, which is bullets, then yeah, that means that they're building up a lot of charges up really quickly and be able to do it consistently. So it actually rewards you for being very vigilant, which I really commend them for that, having to do this change. Really, really nice. So here's a very hot spot scenario right here. I should have stayed with the bullet on that one, because, you know, that's the really hard part with playing Vaccinator, is having to decide who is the main threat in a very choke point. As well as especially, you have to be able to see what is in front of you at all times. You can't really predict what's going to be like around the corner, really, most of the time, unless you have to peek around yourself, or unless somebody, you know, communicates with you on what the situation is. Now, it is possible for you to go ahead and pop your Uber charge like multiple times for having different resists, so I could have done that, but you know, at the same time, you only have like 4 charges of it and you want to be conservative just a little bit. And I got the proper revenge on that guy. Alright, so we got a bit of a situation coming up here soon. So we got like a bunch of like explosives, then suddenly a minigun, and then more rockets, and like I'm alternating between the two very quickly. Just keep very close examination on how quickly I'm able to build it up. Just because they're not overhealed, they're getting hit by proper resist, that means the Uber charge is building up a lot faster and faster, and that's how I was able to sustain this front line extremely well. And I think at this point, I was the only medic. Keep that in mind. So that really does reward you being very vigilant. And because of that, we were able to cap that point. Yeah, medic's been a good boy this year. And now here, we're into a different segment later in the next round. I saw that soldier, so I made sure I kept my back, which I did. Made sure I had those things ready. I switched to the pyro just to try to pursue him, but it looks like I lost him. Oh, suddenly pyro. Yeah, the new changes with the flog just made it so like everyone just kept saying, "Flog is fair and balanced," in a very sarcastic tone, spamming it over and over again by multiple people. But hey, you know what? With the changes with the Vaccinator and I'm using it, I practically just cancel that shit out. Just like in that scenario. So it's really nice and lovely. Frickin' pyro convention going on over here. Coming forward a little bit. Seems to be like a lone soldier right here. That is until there's some reinforcements. But yeah, more often than not, whenever you're playing Vaccinator, there's going to be some smart players who's going to go ahead and try to melee you to death. But then again, no matter what medigun that you use, you will get gunned down anyway, or rather, melee to death. But you know, that's the nature of it. Oh yeah, speaking of meleeers, I think pretty much the best situation is that, like right here, I try to keep crossing in front of my patient's view just so he can, you know, try to get that melee guy out of my way. I know I was getting bombarded from everything, but I just gotta try to make use of it. Random pills out of nowhere, but it turns out there was a demo man down below. And I saw by those rollers. There he is. So I went ahead and tried to use up a charge. I switch on over. Although it's kind of strange on how they display it, because once I activated and switched to the melee, it felt like it got turned off. So I think it's like you can only have your medigun out when you use it, or no. I don't know. It seems like a one change. I'm not sure. Visually, it's probably not there, but it probably was active for the 2.5 seconds. Wasn't sure. Oh yeah, bad decision on my part. But we were like really close to capping it. I had no choice but to be very desperate to knock that shit out. Or how about the NG? Naturally getting bombed by a bunch of pipes. He needs to make sure it's all protected. Whoa, random pyro. Checking to make sure if he's gonna follow, which he didn't. Good save on the pyro, but I didn't follow up with that other shot. And he got gunned down. So yeah, the other team is making a huge comeback right now, and you know, if they wise up to your antics, they can actually be very, you know, well, see, there's the other medic on the other team that's using it too. So he's wising up to what I'm doing. Making sure there's reinforcements here. Yeah, it looks like they're starting to wise up here. I don't think we're gonna win here, which is a damn shame. Oh, they almost got it. They almost got it here. Oh my, oh wait, never mind. Server time ran out. Didn't matter. So yeah, I'm messing about on CP Vanguard here, but now let's transition over to Snowy Coast. PL Snowy Coast. And this one starts to get a little bit more involved here, just because there's a bunch of examples here where you can get easily, like, either distracted or, like, attacked from different angles by different type of attacks. And that can be the really easy downfall with the Vaccinator, provided that if you can pop your... Well, if you have plentiful enough of charges to use it up in the right scenario here. Much like against that power or whatever, the demo man that was in front, and now I see a soldier here. Which ended up working. Couldn't save that medic in time, but he used up his Zuber anyway, so it was not a bad death. And suddenly a crit that I could have prevented, but I did not see that coming. Because Spy was distracting me. Man, whoever does a random crit needs to deserve coal in their stocking. Just saying. A lot of spies here today. See, I see a pyro here. Oh, ends up getting juggled. Cool. Another melee guy. Yeah, he's probably going after me. Saw the sniper. I was thinking he was going to go after me, so I made sure I popped several times over. But now check this out. Somebody explain this. Just wait for it. Boom! Everything just died in an instant. And I don't know what that was. That wasn't a reflect. Like, it was all skull and crossbones. I can't explain that. Like once we capped the middle point or something like that, and like once we capped the middle point, did like the spawn room just like went squishy or something? I don't know. Like, I don't even. But yeah, going forward in a little bit in time, yeah, I'm getting bombarded by everything here, especially the soldier right now. But it looks like I had enough left over to pop a charge on that. And there's still a situation with the spy here. I'm trying to predict where he was going to go. So I'm kind of like backtracking a little bit. It always keeps being a constant distraction here. But that's another thing about Vaccinator, is that since it encourages you to having to look forward. Oh, yep, getting hit by a pipe. Since it encourages you to look forward a whole bunch of the time, that means that it's hard for you to, watch your back, because you need to see what matters of like many things that is attacking you all at once in order to use the proper resistance. So that's kind of tough. But since I'm very well seasoned anyway, I'm able to like switch around and watch my back several times over. So it's not really big of an issue. Once again, I'm still very vigilant. I saw that spy like up in that spot right there. And it looks like it's just gonna bugger off. Yeah. So right near to the final point here. Make sure I keep a watchful eye out with that medic here just a little bit, because he does have the full Uber. His is more important than mine. Oh yeah. Add the demo man that spawn cap to the list for putting coal in the stocking. Just like that. Oh, decided to use the other door. But I was able to prevent that too. Yeah, that was the one that got the crit sticky on me earlier. Now right there, that should have been a good visual demonstration of how much overcharge you get for using that crossbow there. I don't think I ever shown doing the whole amputator thing getting overcharge yet, but I bet you imagine how much it would, like little percentages. But yeah, Vaccinator turned out to be a bit more viable now, which I'm pretty happy about that. Still not the best medigun per se. I mean, it's good as a supplemental thing when you have another medic on your team. So I say with that, that is it for this Smissmas episode of Doctor's Diagnosis. Prescription? Go out there and save a life this Smissmas. See you guys next time.